I'm going to hit record. So now we're recording. Just before Mr. Blakeney takes it away, I'm just going to kind of hit the results of the poll. Let me see if I hit end polling. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm just worried I'm going to hit end polling. It's going to go away. But we are up to 190 people have voted, and we've got about a chunk of you who are interested in the general curriculum. I see over 50 people have said they're interested in the diploma program, 40 in PSSE. Over 100 of you have said you're interested in running START. So lots of interest in all the areas. So I'm going to hit end polling on here. We're going to ask you again at the end just to see what you think after you hear everything. And I'm going to let Mr. Blakeney get started.
All right.
I'm going to go back to the, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to go back to the first thing so you can give the overview, Mr. Blakeney.
Okay. All right. So we are here today because you as 10th graders going into the 11th grade, you have a lot of choices of what you can do in your last 2 years of high school at Mount Rainier or through Mount Rainier. So we just want to give you some ideas about each one of them, and hopefully you can figure out which one is the best for you. As you can see, we're going to talk about 4 different programs today. Standard 11th grade curriculum, the International Baccalaureate or the IB Diploma program, Running Start, and then the Puget Sound Skills Center or PSSC. So you're going to hear a little bit about each of them today as we go through this. And then you can see that, can you just go back one more? And then as you can see, no, the second one, sorry, with the flashing. Yeah, that one, as you can see, this is specifically about PSSC and running START. This is for parents. So there are a lot of parents that, as you have questions and you want to do some of these different programs, your parents also would like to know more about these programs and some information. So this Thursday night on January 21st at 6 p.m., there's going to be another webinar like this where you can come and there will be representatives from Highline Community College talking about Running Start, and there will be the school counselor from PSSC talking about the Puget Skills Center, Puget Sound Skills Center. So just know that that's coming up, and I think there's probably a lot of your parents that will want to attend that. Okay. So as you can see there, the counselors, hopefully as 10th graders, you do know at this point who your counselors are, but we've been remote for a while now, so it might be. I'm Mr. Blakeney, so my last name, I have students whose last names are A through C. Ms. Fiorito, who was talking there at the beginning, she has D through H. She will be speaking again soon. Ms. Lopez is at a conference today, so she's not going to be joining us, but she works with students whose last names are I through MO. Ms. Guinmanis, she has students whose last name are MU through SC. And then finally, we have Mr. Freeman, who has the end of the alphabet, SE through Z. So, and all of them, except for Ms. Lopez, are going to speak today, so you can get a better chance of seeing and knowing who your counselor is if you haven't already know. Okay. Now, a lot of times this just gets kind of left out or not really talked about. And so sometimes students get maybe a little confused, but this is what the majority of students choose to do. It's just to stay at Mount Rainier and take your standard curriculum, so you're going to be taking that 3rd year of science. You'll have a 4th year available if you want to take it. Social studies, you'll be taking US history. You'll be taking math at least up to the level of Algebra 2. World languages, you will have already taken 2 years, but you're open to go all the way up to 4. There's art and music classes available, career and technical education, health and PE. All of those are classes that you will need to take a certain amount of so you graduate. So this is just continuing taking the courses, and you can take, if you want to take a certain amount of IB classes, you can take IB classes without being an IB student. Actually, all of you that stay at Mount Rainier, all of your language arts classes are going to be IB your junior and senior year. That's all that we offer in language arts. So this is, like I said, actually the most popular but we don't talk about that a lot. So some people are like, I just want to stay at Mount Rainier. Can I do that? Well, of course you can. That's what most people do. You're just making sure in your 11th and 12th grade year that you're meeting all your requirements for graduation and you have more choices of electives that you want to take. So that really opens up as to what's possible for you to take that your junior and senior year. Okay. Now it's Miss Fairchild.
Before Ms. Fairchild jumps in, just a note, you are free to ask your questions in the Q&A. We'll try to keep track of that and answer, and then at the end, go through some of the like top hits of what those questions are. So, thank you.
Okay, so what is the IB Diploma Program? So the Diploma Program is the classes that 11th and 12th graders take. So just in case you were not aware, you are already an IB student because you are in the middle years program, and you were last year as a 10th grade or a 9th grader, and you are again this year as a 10th grader in the middle years program. So that is one of the programs that IB offers. And then at the 11th and 12th grade, we have diploma program. So as Mr. Blakeney said, you all will be in a diploma program language arts class because that's all we offer. And then from there, you have the choice to add on any diploma program classes that you would like. So social studies, you could take history of the Americas. Math, if you are planning to be full diploma program, then we have a couple different options. Science, there's biology. If you want to take biology, it's only diploma program. Chemistry, it's only diploma program. Physics, there is a common core physics, and then an IB physics. World language, French and Spanish, it's always IB. It has been since 9th grade and all the way up through 12th grade, right? Business management is a diploma program class, and then we have music and visual arts. So all of those you can choose as to take. So the other part that is like a little extra step is that we have full IB. I think, is there another slide? I tried to push the button, but I can't. Okay, oop, I think, is that it? Is that the second one? Okay, so there's not one before this? I know we're recording this.
1 second, sorry, yep, hold
Okay.
on. This
All
one?
right. Yeah, that one. Okay.
Sorry,
That's okay.
just tell me where to click.
So you're wondering if you should take it, what we call full IB. So the full IB is all 6 of the classes that we mentioned, right? Plus there's some extracurricular things that are not necessarily a class. So we can talk about that in a second, but everyone should take a diploma program class, and everyone kind of doesn't have a choice because English is diploma program. So as I mentioned, you are already an IB student because middle years is IB. So what are your strong subjects? Maybe you want to take IB art, but you don't want to take IB math. Maybe you want to take IB music, but you don't want to take IB science, right? That's fine. Or maybe you want to take IB physics, but you don't want to take IB history. So you can mix and match how you would like. The second question is, are you willing to work hard? This will be challenging, but hopefully that's why you're here, right? Because you're going to go out in the real world, and the real world's going to be challenging too. So this is where you get to practice how to handle challenges, how to problem solve. And you can also ask your current teachers. Usually math is where we want people to talk to their teachers, but maybe in the science, do you think that I am ready with the skills to go on to the next level? So why might you want to take more than just English as a diploma program class? That it looks good to colleges, and I think you've probably heard that you want to take the most rigorous class you can. So that shows the colleges that you can handle college level work. And all of our full IB and even partial IB students have said how easy college is when they get there because they really worked hard in high school and were prepared for what they had to do in college. The college credit. So any of the classes that you take that are diploma program classes at the end of next year, your senior, or not next year, excuse me, at the end of your senior year, so 2 years from now, you can take a test. And with the score that you get on that test, if it is a 4 or higher, you are eligible for college credit. So in the state of Washington, it's required that the college give you some credit. If you're going out of the state, that is up to those schools. So the full diploma, what we call full IB, you have 6 IB courses your junior and senior year. You have to pass them all to continue as a full IB under the Highline rules. And then you will take the 6 tests, and 3 of those do have to be what we call higher level. So usually those are English, history, and science. So you also, though, have to write an extended essay. That's what Mr. Freeman was talking about earlier before we started. It is a 4,000-word academic research paper. And then you also have to participate in extracurricular activities that are creative, active, and service. So if you are full IB, you are graduating from Mount Rainier High School, obviously with your Washington State diploma, but you also then get a IB diploma, which is why it's called the diploma program. Okay, so you should come talk to me, and not so much that I'm going to say, yes, you can come in, or no, you can't, because anybody can join. And I strongly encourage all of you to try it. Talk with your parents, talk with your teachers. And the reason why I want you to talk with me, though, is that I will build a schedule for you. So asking you about what science you want to take, what world language, what math, right? So those are things that I need to know. Or if you want to take music, right? Because I will build a schedule based on your interests. And if you are if in physics and French, then I need to know that. So you will also see on this slide that we had a IB information night on the 7th, and that is past, obviously. But if you go to our Mount Rainier website, you will see that there is a PowerPoint from that night. So that's why this is on here. So if you want to take a look at that, you can. So I'm going to actually have office hours starting next Wednesday, not tomorrow, next Wednesday, the 27th, February 3rd and 10th. And I am going to send the link to my office hours to your advisor so that you can know what that link is and come see me and talk to me if you're interested in being full diploma program. Thank you.
Okay, before I move on to start talking about Running Start, I'm just going to note that I've seen a lot of really specific and really great questions popping up in the Q&A regarding specific things about IB. Also, lots of questions about IB, Running Start, what looks better, what, we get that question a lot, I will tell you. So we're going to kind of work through the slides, and then we'll come back to some of those things about Running Start. But I think for some of you who have really specific questions, you can stay on at the end and we'll try to answer them. I know some of them are getting answered and I can't see the answers pop in. I just am seeing the questions, but you may want to make sure that you check in with Ms. Fairchild specifically if you are trying to decide about IB. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Running Start. It's 12:18, so I just know that we know you have class in a few, like 15 minutes or so, but we will stay here to answer your questions and get through this so you can get all the information that you need. So if you need to stay on, we'll be here, okay? So quickly about Running Start, not quickly, because I know that there's at least 125 of you who said that you were interested in knowing more about Running Start. So what is it, right? So Running Start is when you take classes at the community college, and then those credits, when you pass those classes, are awarded as high school credit and college credit. So that's why it's called dual credit or dual high school college credit, because you do the class in one place and you get credit for it for both places. Okay, so that's kind of the basic, that's what it is. Who's eligible? You need to be at least a junior. So you do not have to start Running Start junior year. If you wanted to opt to stay at Mount Rainier to get some more of your requirements out of the way, I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to probably say it again and again. You guys are a group in a unique situation, right? You had about 6 months of high school last year. If you were to opt to go to Running Start in the fall, that means that you've your high school experience is going to be real minimal. So my thought would be that many of you would want to maybe return to high school just to have some of that experience before you go on to the college level. Would also help prepare you better probably to be in person for a little bit longer before you move on for college. And so if you decided that next year you wanted to come back to Mount Rainier to get ready and just get some more credits done and then go your senior year, that is totally fine. You do not have to enter Running Start your junior year. You just need to be at least a junior to enter. You also need to be able to place into English 101. And you know what, I needed to take that 2.0 out of there. You actually don't have to have a minimum of a 2.0 anymore, but you do need to have above a 3.0 if you are not able to pass the placement test that the college offers to test into English 101. So if you've got a 3.0, you can use that with the placement center, or you can take the AccuPlacer test with them and they will allow you into English 101. Okay. A little more. What does it cost? Now, everybody hears, oh, it's free college. Right. Tuition is covered, but there are things that you do still have to pay for. You have to pay for lab fees. If you're driving to the school, you need to pay for your own parking permit. You need to buy your own book. So there are still some costs associated to it. And if you have free or reduced lunch, or if you qualify for free or reduced lunch, there are some fees that can be waived, but you still may get a bill at the beginning of every quarter for some fees and things that you need to cover yourself, but tuition is covered. Pros and cons, right? So we get this question all the time. So what are the pros of Running Start? Well, like I said, free college tuition, right? And it can save you time in college, because if you take care of some of those classes, then when you get to college, you can continue on and do, go into higher levels of classes. It does make your application to a university show that you're able to handle college level classes. Now, I did see the question, and I'm going to answer this from what I've heard from some of the top tier colleges, if you will. I went to a presentation with schools like Harvard and Stanford, and what do they consider the most rigorous content that you can do in high school? They are going to most likely see an IB diploma as the most rigorous thing that you can do in high school. Going to Running Start and taking college classes does serve you well and shows that you can handle college level, but they do see that IB diploma, at least in terms of those top tier schools. Now, if you're applying to state schools, that's, they're still going to look at everything about you, like particularly UW. I like to use that example because it's kind of the school that a lot of people say that they're striving to get into. They look at you holistically. So they're going to look at more than just your grades, but they also want to see that you've taken, the most rigorous classes that you can. And also for counselors, when you're applying to schools that, there are a lot of schools that you'll apply to that we have to submit information for, and we do have to answer a question. Did you take the most rigorous courses available to you? So if you've maybe received your AA degree from the college because you worked all the way through that, I might say that. And if you've done your IB diploma, I'm going to say most rigorous. But anyway, I'm going to keep going because it's 12:23. Okay, some of the cons. So some of the credits don't always transfer perfectly to out-of-state or private colleges. I know Ms. Gramanis last year had a student going to Boston College or Boston University, something like that, at a private school. And that student, she had to submit some extra paperwork, right? So just to show what that student did as a Running Start student. So there are some things that may not transfer perfectly to a private school. They transfer best into the state schools in Washington. They don't not transfer out of state. That's just where they transfer best, because the community colleges are designed to feed into the state schools. So that's just the most streamlined way that those transfer the best. Some other cons, there's a lot of responsibility that's going to fall on you. Right now, you guys have had, I know even when remote learning, you still have a lot of support from your advisors to help you stay on track, and you know, you have a lot of support built in. When you go to the community college, you're really kind of just out there on your own. The responsibility will really fall to you to make sure that you have that you're keeping in touch with your counselor. We are your point people when you're at Running Start, and we give you information, but you have to follow through. And most Running Start students have received at least one scolding from their counselor at some point about not reading an email or not following through with something, because it's really important that you are taking that responsibility on. Another con, again, a lack of connection to the high school. I'm going to jump back to what I said. You haven't had that much time in high school. So if you want to build a connection to the high school, just because of the unique circumstances that we're in right now, coming back to high school for a year might help you build that connection. Maybe you go to Running Start the next year. So just a potential con. And then if you are someone who's thinking that you might want to take some classes at Mount Rainier and some at the college level, some students do that, and there is an ability to do that, which we can talk about more in some sessions later. But you may be trying to be in two places at once. You know, when we're going to just assume that we're hopefully back in person next year when you do this. And if you're trying to be at the college for a class and then your high school classes at the same time, like that doesn't always work perfectly. So there's just the blended schedules that can be a con to people. What kind of classes will you be taking? Anything 100 level or above, and then only certain classes will meet the graduation requirements. So you can take anything there 100 level or above, but not everything there meets your high school graduation requirements. I'm going to speed through this because I'm looking at the time. And then, yes, only some things meet that. And then we just want to really emphasize you talk to us. You also talk to the college advisors to make sure you're getting everything you need for high school. Words of caution, it is the start of your college transcript. So some people go there and they really struggle, right? They really struggle. They're not actually ready to go on to college. But guess what? Those grades you get, they carry through with you. That is the start of your permanent college transcript. So it is a word of caution to know that that's kind of what happens with that. And any grade that you get at the college is the grade that we put on your high school transcript. We can't change anything that you do there. So if you've done really well in high school and you go to the college and you don't do so well, now it's going to impact your high school transcript as well. So moving on. And how do you enroll? Oh my gosh, there's more. Okay, so come to the information session on Thursday. I think that will be really informative to you. Highline College has a really informative website for Running Start as well. And it's going to be a multi-step process. When we do registration it's going to be next month. You're going to indicate to us at that point in time that you're going to want to sign up for Running Start. And then we will have more, they're not going to be information sessions. They would have normally been like a one-on-one conference where we go over all the agreements and different things. But in this setting, we do like a large group sessions to kind of go over all of the every step that you need to have to make sure that we know that you've completed your paperwork with the college and that you're getting everything done you need to sign up. And then you turn everything into the college and you go from there. There's a lot of paperwork, lots of steps. This is just like the very first intro to it. Okay. Mr. Freeman, take it away.
Yeah. So hi everyone, this is Christina Gridmanis, counselor for last names MU through SC, and I'm going to be talking really quickly about the Puget Sound Skills Center. Miss Fiorito, if there is a closed captioning setting, can you put that on? Sorry for not getting that earlier. I couldn't see it on my end. But the PSSC is a great program if you are interested in really getting into a career and having that hands-on experience. You spend half of your day at PSSC and half of your day at MRHS, Mount Rainier. So at PSSC, you can use that to get industry certifications or college credits. And to join PSSC, there is an application that has to be filled out every year that we do with registration. So it's an awesome program. I'm going to have us move to the next slide. And it's one that we really recommend if you know that you're interested in a career. This video we will post in the Google Classrooms and make sure that you have access to, but we're going to run out of time to watch it now. It goes through kind of all of the different things that you might be wondering about PSSC. So these are the programs available. They have a lot of different ones, including culinary arts, animation, auto tech are really popular ones, video game programming. They also have the nursing assistant, dental assistant, criminal justice training. There's a lot of options. And so when you fill out the application for PSSC, you need to make sure you're ranking your top 2 or 3 choices so that they know if they run out of room in one of their programs that they have access and you're willing to do a different one. So lots of cool programs. Again, I'd encourage you to watch that video. I'll also put it in the chat when I'm done talking. This is a thing that we get lots of questions about in terms of equivalency credits. So through PSSC, you can earn up to 3 credits. The first 1.5 are considered CTE credits, and then elective credits. An elective credit is anything beyond the minimum requirement. So then each program has different things called equivalency credits that allow you to designate the other half of the year, those credits for things like language arts or a lab science or PE for some of the programs. The other really big benefit of PSSC is that it can be used if you earn 2 credits through PSSC for a CTE pathway, which is one way to meet the math and language arts standards, which is a graduation requirement. So you can get a lot taken care of through PSSC, especially if you're interested in doing more of that hands-on learning. Next slide. And so they do have an open house in addition to joining us this Thursday. On Wednesday, February 10th, you can register in advance for the PSSC virtual open house and learn really a ton about all of their programs.
Okay, so I'm just going to plug in the College and Career Center. This is another resource that we have available at Mount Rainier. If you haven't, you guys haven't, no, you're sophomores. So you should have been, you should have at least seen the College and Career Center at least one time last year. I know we plugged it in our intro presentation last year as well. You can follow them on Instagram, on Twitter, so you can get all the updates. Ms. Taylor and her team are always more than happy to talk to the underclassmen. You do not have to be a junior or a senior now to start talking with them about your future career or colleges or any other programs that you're interested in. So we have given you 4 options for next year. So I'm just going to read this quote. The best choice is one that positively challenges you and helps you meet your future goals. So we just really want to emphasize that whatever program you choose is because it's something that it's a program that you want to do. It's not a program that your friends are telling you to join because they're doing it. It's not because your family has all done it, because every generation has done Running Start or every generation has done PSSC. That is absolutely great. Every generation's name is not on your transcript, it's just yours. This is your path. This is your curriculum. This is what you want to do. So we just really want to emphasize that. And again, choose a program that will be best for you. So it's great to want to challenge yourself, but don't pick something that's gonna, have your mental health and, fall. Don't push yourself more than you're capable of. I'm gonna move the course thing because this is in my way. So okay. So again, we just want to reemphasize attending the PSSC and Running Start Info Night this Thursday, January 21st, starting at 6 p.m. Through Zoom, especially if you're really interested in hearing more about PSSC and the Running Start program. The presenters, again, the people that work in those buildings and those programs, and they can give you more specific details and answer questions that we may not be able to answer for you today.
Okay, So that is, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I thank you guys. I know a lot of you are still on here. I see the very last question that popped up that says, why is this so complicated? And you're right, it is complicated. And, you know, in this remote setting, I know that we're all feeling really rushed to kind of just like give you the information. We're just kind of throwing it at you, and you're like, that's a lot of decision making I have to make in a quick, you know, presentation. So I know I'm going to hit stop on them recording this. I'm going to hit stop on the record. I'm willing to like stay on here and answer questions if I think some of the other counselors probably can as well.